stand to gain to learn about the issues happening in the entertainment world. Now we are going to the tourism, to the educational segments, which we are talking about what is happening in the educational world for those that want to study and someone that want to do one or two things, what they can stand to gain. Yes, education happens to be one of the things we always preach at Learners Spectrum, because we don't joke with education. Now, when you talk about education, it's not only within Nigeria. We talk about both Nigeria and outside Nigeria. But I will start with our own country, Nigeria. What does it take for you to be an educated person in Nigeria? We have so many youths that have finished writing their exams, the secondary school exam and things like that, and many of them don't even know how to go about it because of the issues on ground. Some people say it's because of finance, but give or take, education is not something we should negotiate. I always say it. Education is compulsory. When I mean compulsory, not as if it's a way to life, but at least you must have basic education. At least if you cannot even have BSc, at least you should have OND or HND. And we have so many private schools outside now that even without JAMB, you can always get admission. And then we have some schools that you have to write your JAMB. The important thing is having your O-level result, which is your 5 credits, including Maths and English. You can have it in, in WAEC. You can have it in NECO. You can also have it in NAPTEP. I think there's something they call NAPTEP. Then there's GC also that you can do. So there are many options for you to have your O-level result. And that is the basic. Maths, English, and 5 credits. If you are a science student, you need physics, chemistry, biology, and things. If you're a commercial student, you need the commerce and the accounting and things like that. If you're an art student, you need the the literature, what they call it, literature. The O-level result that you use. But I think those things are important for those that want to study in Nigeria. Then there's what we call the JAMB or the UTME that you have to write, which is compulsory. And you must score at least a reasonable amount, I think average of 200 if I'm not mistaken. Then with that, you can always, secure admission after writing the JAMB if you pass. Some schools still have post-UTME, some schools don't have. But those are the basic things you must have. But there's this thing I always tell you that some people, they've written exams, they have their O-level result, they've written JAMB. Unfortunately, they couldn't get admission. You don't just sit at home and say, because I did JAMB, I was not given admission, UNILAG and UNILAG. There are so many other opportunities. There are some schools that their cutoff are very low that you can apply to. We always encourage you, don't just sit at home. Do your research. Then we went further saying that it's just more or less talking about vacation and the tourism we are talking about. Always look beyond the scope of where you are. Think outside the box. Try other African countries. Yes, there are some schools that they are even looking for students. Thank God we have a large population. You know how many millions of people are coming out every year with WAEC results. So there are million plus that are looking for admission into their higher institution, either university or polytechnic or college of education. Many of them are like that. So instead of sitting at home thinking of waiting for next year, countries like Ghana, like Benin, like Rwanda, the funny thing is that those two schools, their tuitions are even cheaper than some schools in Nigeria. And people don't know. It's because what you don't know is what you don't know. At least I have quite a number of students that are studying, that I did admission for, that are studying in Benin Republic, that their tuition fee is not even up to 200,000 for a whole year. Yes, it's as cheap as that. But because you don't know, and these people, they have quality education because they always want to, be known globally for education. So they invest heavily. And their tuition, there's nothing like strike. Their schools are very fast in terms of their curriculum. Some are 3 years. 3 years you are graduated, you've graduated. You come to Nigeria, you do your youth service, and you are good to go. Instead of waiting and waiting and waiting. Then for those that have capacity, that have dreams of studying in the Western world, we have some countries that all you need to apply is just your O-level results, of course your 5 credits, including Maths and English, then your international passport, and you are good to go. And if you compare the fees with some private schools in Nigeria, you find even as far as Europe. I have students that are studying in Austria. If I tell you that if you are going to study in Austria, the tuition fee is not even up to €1,000, you'll be surprised. Yes, there are schools. If you go to Cyprus, Malta, and even the A-list school like the Canada. Of course, Canada will be expensive, but there are some people that can afford it because the higher the bigger the country in terms of education, the more the fees you pay. But those countries, people always think they are almost impossible to get to, or they are so difficult. but you'll be shocked and be amazed how easy, how straightforward, and how some schools you will get them easier than even getting a Nigerian school. Some is as good as just applying and you have your admission letter. The process are straightforward, they are stress-free. Okay, what about embassy? Some people, is because many people don't know what it takes to get admission or to get. If you are going to Canada, for example, of course you know you need finance, but the processes are very, very similar. That's why we have internet. That's why we have agents. We have this thing. So far you are talking to the right set of people, you can make that dream come true. And the funny thing is that there are so many opportunities that lies there that when you get there, you'll be surprised that how come we don't have this in my country? But it is what it is. Those schools, those countries, they make education interesting. That's why if you see schools like that, you see that when Nigerians go to that country to study, they always come out one of the best, because all what is supposed to be a stress to them has been handled. One country I'm talking of, like for example, I'm trying to be practical now. If you're talking about countries like Turkey, talking like Cyprus, like Malta, those countries, their tuition fee are not as expensive as Canada, US, or UK. And the process is just like I've said. You don't even need to write IELTS exam, you don't need to write TOEFL exam. If you're a master's student, if you have done your first degree in Nigeria and you're planning to go and do your master's there, all you need is your O-level result, of course, international passport. And thank God for the new minister that will just announce, like, issuance of passport doesn't take forever anymore. Within 2-3 weeks, I'm sure if you apply for your passport, you will get it. And those are the things you can even do online. You don't even need to go to the, though of course you will still go for capturing, but it's a thing that you can go online and apply for your international passport. Some users even make your payment online. Once you make your payment online, you just get your slip, you go for capture. And I can bet you are there within 1 or 2 hours, you are done waiting for your passport in the next 2 weeks. It's as easy as that. Yes, it's as easy as that. Just apply. Before, we always have issues when it comes to passport. Months, you wait for months, passport will not be issued because of the bureaucracy. They'll tell you some people are going to the Hajj and their passport is not ready, this, that. But now, with the new minister we have on ground, it has made things so easy for us that you can go online, apply for your international passport. Once you apply, you print and you make payment even online with your Naira card. You pay for the passport. Once you pay for the passport, you get a slip. You have a date. You are the one that even choose the date you want to go for capturing. And once you have your date, you go to the venue that you have chosen. If you're in Lagos, they have in Festac, they have in Ali Mosho, they have in Ikoyi. You choose any venue you want. You go for your capturing, and they give you a date for you to come for your passport, which is not as long as it used to be. And if you don't want to do it in Lagos State, there are other states that you can also go. Right across, there's no state in Nigeria that doesn't have immigration office or passport office as we know it to be. So no matter what you are doing, if you are leaving the shore of this country, number one thing you need to have is your international passport. Very compulsory. I don't think you can even leave Nigeria without international. Even if you are going to your neighboring country like Ghana, you still need your passport, even though we are a member of ECOWAS. But passport is important. You don't have to even wait till when you want to travel before you start pursuing your passport. Passport lasts for 5 or 10 years or so. So it's a thing you can apply now, have it, then start planning. And like I've said before, there are so many other countries within Africa that are not expensive that you can go and study. I spoke about Ghana, I spoke about Rwanda, I spoke about Togo. Those neighboring countries are things that you can go, and those people, they don't even require JAMB. Just a O-level result and you're good to go. We're in October now. Some schools are still admitting students than wasting for the next academic section again, doing nothing at home. And again, in that educational line, I still want to chip in something. When it comes to education, I always say it's not only about polytechnic or university. There are some technical schools. There are some schools that they have short courses, 6-month course. They have institutes that you can go to, that you can get education, and those ones even help you more. If you go